Yeah! Yeah. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. I am Bugs Moran. These are the Kelly Moore Memorial Studios located securely in the beautiful south side of Chicago. And, if you usually tune in here or are expecting a rant on hot topics, current events, and pop culture, also some lifestyle discussion. If you're tuned in looking for that, all through a nonpartisan, non-political lens, well, you got to tune in every day at noon at Radio Misfits, either on YouTube or Facebook, or just go to radiomisfits.com. Radio Misfits, where I present the rant every day. Non-political, regular talk for normal people. That's not what this is, because today we are going to be doing an insane Chicago Bears draft. I have been obsessing over the upcoming NFL draft and the role that my Chicago Bears may play in it. We've got some very nice picks. We start out with a pick at 2025, and then we've got 2 second-round picks. We've got a third-round pick. Here is the deal with this draft. We don't, at least to my estimation, necessarily need a first-round pick. What I would like to do, and we're going to be simulating this draft here, what I would like to do is try and gather as many picks in the top 150 as I can. If those picks have to come through, second round, 33, pick 33 through pick, say, 120, that's where I want my picks to be, because this is a draft that is incredibly deep in our Chicago Bear positions of need. So without further ado, let's get nuts. Now, I use a particular draft simulator. I like to use the Pro Football Network draft simulator. That's the PFSN one. So let's pull it up and let's start. Let's figure out the parameters for this draft. Right? I've already stated what I want. I am not necessarily interested in the 25th pick. I am interested in gathering a whole bunch more second and third round picks and maybe some early fourth round picks, because as I said, that the positions that of need for the Bears, this particular draft is very deep. So why not trade away? Oh, nobody likes to hear that. What are you saying? You want to trade out of the first round? Yeah, I do. I want to trade out of the first round, but I want to trade up first. I want to trade up and I want to trade back. And we're going to do an absolutely insane draft simulation here featuring the Chicago Bears. Okay, so first thing that we got to do is we got to determine, it's the Bears. So we're going to be drafting as the Bears. Okay, so we're going to click that. There we go. Bears are ready. We want to do 7 rounds. Right? We're going to do full 7-round draft here. We also want the speed to be fast. We want this draft. We don't want to be here for an hour. We'd like to knock this out in about 10, 15 minutes. And if we do the fast draft, we'll be able to do that as well. Okay, so now what player list are we going to be choosing from? Will we be choosing from this one, the Pro Football Network list? Well, we've got some other choices. We can go ESPN. We can go PFF. We can go the Athletics list. I want to go consensus. I think a consensus list of all of them combined, that's what we're going to do. All right, so if you're ready, let's get started here with this totally insane Chicago Bears 2026 NFL draft. We got to enter the draft. All right, so I got to enter the draft. There we go. And now I want to pause the draft real quick. All right, I'm just going to pause the draft because it's on fast and it's going to go fast. We're going to be to pick 25 in the blink of an eye. Let's look at the lay of the land right here first, okay? As the draft begins, we've got the Oakland Raiders with the first pick, the New York Jets with the second pick, the Arizona Cardinals with the third, the 10 Titans. Almost called them the Houston Titans. There has never been a Houston Titans. I still like to call them the Oilers, but whatever, we're calling them the Titans. And then we got the Giants, the G-Men, coming in at number 5. Now, we all pretty much know that Fernando Mendoza is probably going to be the first pick by the Oakland Raiders, despite the fact that they just gave Kirk Cousins a whole bunch of money. But hey, that's okay. What do we want to do? Now, let's look at our picks. All right, here's the picks that we are dealing with here. We've got pick 25. That's in the first round. We've got 57 and 60 there. That's in the second round. We've got 89 in the third. We got 129 in the fourth. And then 239 and 241 in the seventh. Okay. I don't believe we have a fifth or a sixth rounder. So whatever. We got 2 7s. Let's see if we can work with any of that stuff. So those are our picks. 25. Like I said, the Chicago Bears don't really need I mean, look, we need a couple of positions. We are looking for edge. We are looking for defensive tackle, both 3 technique and nose. I want a nose tackle and I want a traditional 3-tech tackle. We also need to replace a linebacker. We need to replace a cornerback, and we need a safety. That hasn't even talked about the offense yet. We went offense heavy the last couple of years, although we did take some defensive players last year as well. But we will probably sprinkle in some offensive players. I will tell you right now, I am telling you right now that if I can get Jadarian Price out of Notre Dame, the running back, at 57 or 60, he's a bear. The only thing that would have me, I think, before we start this draft, the only thing that would have me picking in the first round is if I'm sitting there and I've got either the kid from Alabama, the left tackle from Alabama. I might take him. Could in the moment take him if he's there. And I might could take Mesidor out of Miami if he's there. But I think those are really the only two. Dylan Thieneman. If Dylan Thieneman, the safety out of Oregon, is there and I have a pick still at 25, I may take him. No, I can't. I can't do that. The whole point of this draft is that I need to try and accumulate as many picks between, the second and third round as I possibly can. All right, so let's do the crazy draft. All right, so we are going to propose a trade right out of the box. Who do we want to trade with, though? All right, let's take a look at the draft picks. Where do we want to trade? Do we think we can trade from 25 to 5? Ooh, we're going to have to give up everything. Do you think the New York Giants will deal with us? All right, let's try this. They got 5, they got 37, they got 105. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. All we're interested in is 5. Let's propose this trade with the New York Giants and see what we get. All right, so we're going to propose a trade. We're going to deal with the Giants. And again, here's what we're looking at. These are our picks. These are their picks. What do we want from the Giants? Well, right now, I just want number 5 because I want to move up and I want to deal number 5 to desperate people. What's it going to take to get rid of that? Well, what if I don't want to give away 25? What if I want to have 5 and 25 in the first round? Let's see if I can acquire the number 5 overall pick from the New York Giants without giving away my current 2026, 25, 25th pick in the draft. Let's see. All right, well, we'll start out. We're going to give him 57. All right, that's going to likely get rejected. We're going to add 60. We'll add the other second rounder. That's going to get rejected. We'll give him 89. Why not? We're only halfway there. All right, at this point, it's probably going to take a first, right? Well, let's see if we can do it with a 4th, a 3rd, and a 2nd. No, that ain't going to do it. We're going to have to give away a 1st. All right, so that's acceptable. I'm not so worried about next year because if this proposal gets accepted, I will now be sitting with the 5th and the 25th pick in the first round of this draft. There are going to be people who want to deal for those picks who will be willing to give up picks within the range where I want to be. Mid to late second round, early to mid third round. That's where I want to accumulate all my picks for this draft. Now, if that's my goal, and I'm now sitting with a number 5 in the first round and another 25 in the first round, my goal can be met because I believe that I can get back all of my picks for next year in the series of trades that I'm going to do. All right, so let's see if we can take anything away from here. Can we keep something this year other than, a 5th and a 7th, I think? Let's see. Nope, that's not going to do it. They want 89. What if we got rid of a 4th next year? All right, we get to keep our 4th. That's good. We'll keep our 4th. Let's see. No, I think 3rd. Is 3rd going to get it done? No. But what if I give the rest of this year? Okay, there you go. We'll get it done. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this deal. This deal looks good. I'm giving away next year's 1st and 2nd round pick, which is crazy. But I am confident that I'm going to be able to get them back. Maybe not the 1st rounder. I may not. Look, this is something we've got to consider going in. I may not be able to get that 1st rounder back next year, but I'm not entirely sure that if we do it right this year, that we're going to be desperate for a 1st round talent next year. So what I do know that we can get, I know that we can get like 3 or 4 second rounders for next year. I know we can make that up. So let's go. All right, I'm going to propose this trade. The Chicago Bears, will be giving pick 57, 60, 89, and 129 this year. And I will also be giving my first round pick and my second round pick this year in order to acquire the New York Giants number 5 pick overall. Let's propose, confirm, accepted. All righty now. Now my Chicago Bears are picking at number 5. So I've got 5 and 25. Let's go to work, people. All right, let's start the draft. We're going to get a whole bunch of draft trade proposals. And you know what? If we don't get trade proposals at number 5, I'm going to be very upset. But don't make me take Jeremiah Love, because I will. All right, here we go. Let's resume the draft and see how it goes. Boom. All right, here we go. All right, we're all ready at our pick, number 5. Fernando Mendoza, as predicted, went number 1. Ruben Bain at 2. I haven't seen that in a lot of mocks, but okay. The Jets take Ruben Bain out of Miami at number 2. And then we've got this incredible team of linebackers out of Ohio. These guys, man, I've never seen linebackers like this. Some drafts, I've got Arvell Reese going before Sonny Styles, and other drafts, you got Sonny Styles going before Arvell Reese. Here is the consistent thing. They're both going in the top 10. That's some crazy good linebackers they got there at Ohio State right now. So here we are. Chicago Bears, look at me. Best player available right now is Jeremiah Love. But I do have some trade offers. So I should look at the trade offers. Let's see. I've got 3 trade offers. All right. So Philadelphia wants to give me pick 5. They're going to give me pick 23, which is still in the first round. It's pretty good. I'll still have 23 and 25. They're also going to give me 54 and 68, which is right in the zone where I want to be picking. So I like those. And they're going to give me a second from next year. So I'll replace my second. It's a pretty good deal. I might take this, but I have 3 other trade offers. This one is giving me a worth of 487. Let's see what, that's the Eagles. Let's see the Carolina. Carolina's going better. They got a 507 score on their trade offer. They want a garbage pick. They want 241, and I'm not married to 241. That's outside the zone where I think the real depth in this draft is. So, I might consider giving up 5 and 241, but what are they going to give us? They're going to give us 19, 51, 83, and a second next year. This is also good. Carolina, better than the Eagles deal. All right, let's see what the third one is. 548 for pick number 8 and pick 42. I believe I'll get more trading 8 than I would trading pick 19 or the pick that was offered from the Eagles, also in the first round. So I'm going to accept this one. All right, here we go. We've accepted our first trade. I've dropped out of number 5, and I've acquired number 8, and I've picked up, what else? What did I pick up? Let's see where my picks stand right now. So I've got 8 in the first round, 25 in the first round, and 42 in the second. All right, I got to go to work. I need more picks, and I need to replace picks for next year. Let's see. David Bailey. Anybody at 8 that I'm in love with? Look at this. Look at Jeremiah Love. Jeremiah Love is falling. He is the number 3 ranked talent in this consensus draft, and we're already at pick 8. He has fallen. Woo, tempted to grab him. I think Jeremiah Love would be enough. We don't need offense. Stay disciplined and know that Jadarian Price is still out there. Jadarian Price was Love's backfield mate at Notre Dame, and Jadarian Price, what do I know? I'm just a diehard Notre Dame fan. Jadarian Price can do everything that Jeremiah Love can. And you can get Jeremiah Price, I think somewhere, or Jeremiah Love. You can get Jadarian Price somewhere in the second round, I think, because the big hype is on Jeremiah Love. All right, so we know he's out there. Let's look at the trade offers here for 8. Let's see. Coming in first, we've got 2 trade offers. Minnesota. I don't like to trade the division. I like to give a big fuck you to them if they need something, but let's see. 470 trade value for us here. They're going to give us pick 18. We stay in the first round. They're going to give us pick 49, which means we'll add another one to the second round. We're going to get also a second. We'll pick up Minnesota second. I like that. I like having in-division second-round picks the future year. That's good. But let's see. We've got another offer. This is at 470. This one is a little bit less. This is the Giants. The Giants want to trade me out of the first round. They want to give me 37, 57, 60. Those are 3 right in the range that I want to be picking. I like that. Let me tell you, I like that. And they're also going to give me a second next year. 470, 444, pick 37. I stay in the first. We're going to trade with Minnesota. It's going to go against all my instincts to trade inside the division. But we're going to go ahead. We're going to trade with Minnesota. All right, so resume the draft. And now we're back to our pick in the first round. Here we are again. We're at 18. Let's just see who's in here. Who's number 1 overall? Monroe Freeling, 16. We're picking at 18. Monroe Freeling might be a game changer for any team that gets him. He is a legit left tackle. Let's see here. Caden Proctor. Look at this. Freeling and Proctor. Who needs left tackles? Left tackles are falling. Oh my God, am I tempted to get like a franchise left tackle? There's 2 of them, but no. We're going to check out the trade offers. We're picking at 18 and pick 18 for pick 241. They're going to give us pick 31 still in the first round, pick 63 in the second round, and we'll acquire a second round pick. So we haven't replaced our first. Remember, we gave away our first, our second, and our third next year. That's what we gave away. We gave first, second, and third. We haven't replaced our first. Don't think we're going to. I think we're going to have to kiss that first goodbye. And next year, maybe we can trade into the first round by packaging a number of seconds. We'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. It's win now, baby. It is win now for the Chicago Bears. All right, so here's the first one. It's got a 337 offer here. Let's see what else we got. 283, Tampa Bay. But they're going to give me a second, and I'm going to pick up my third. I'll replace my third next year and my second. So it'll give me 2 seconds and a third. I still don't know. I need to acquire picks. Carolina is going to move 1 down and give me a second. I want this deal. This may not be the best deal on the board, or is it the best deal on the board? It is. I'm taking it. I'm trading with Carolina again. I'm going to move 1 space down. I'm going to keep a first round pick. I'm going to stay in the first round here. Instead of 18, I'm going to take 19. I'm going to move down 1, and in return, they're going to give me another second round pick next year. I'll take that. All right. So this does, again, at some point, we're going to stop worrying about getting back our draft from next year, and we're going to start picking. But for right now, I will accept this. I think I'm going to accept that. All right, there we go. Move down 1. And we got trades again. All right. So now, should we trade 19? Let's check in with our picks. Let's see what we got. Remember, we gave everything away. All right, so what we've gotten back is we got 19 in the first round. That's where we are. We've got 25 in the first round. That's our original pick. We've got 42 in the second and 49 in the second. We've also got 2 seconds for next year. All right, so let's focus now on acquiring these picks that we so desperately need between the second and third round. All right, let's go. We're going to do some trading here. We're going to trade 19. There's nobody here that's going to change. There's nobody still listed that's available that's going to change us. We're fine. We'll get to the second round when we start to get hungry. All right, pick 19. We've got 2 offers. Seattle wants to give us 32, 64, and a second rounder. Don't hate it. New England, boom, 329. New England's a little bit less. They're going to give us a 5th next year. You can go kick rocks with that 5th rounder, New England. That does nothing for me. Tell you what, I'll counter with New England. All right, let's see. Let me counter. They want to give me a 5th. I don't want your fucking 5th. You know what I want you to give me? I want you to give me a 4th. Will you do that? Nope. If it's not, nope, they say they won't do it. So, okay, screw them. Screw them. Looks like I'm trading with the Super Bowl champions. I'll get their second next year. Hopefully they'll have some fall off. You know, they won't be Super Bowl champions again, but I'll trade with them right here. Let's take this. Here we go. All right. All right, now here we are at our original pick at 25. This is our pick. We own this from the beginning. So here's where we are. We've got 25 and 32 in the first round. We've got 42, 49, and 64 in the second round. 64 in the second round? 32 teams, 64, last pick of the second round. Okay, so we've got 3 in the second. And then we've already acquired 3 seconds next year. We don't have a first. We don't have a third next year, but we've got 3 seconds in the 4th and the 5th and the 6th and the 7th. That's okay. I like that. I like the way next year is. And we'll probably still acquire another second somewhere, so we'll be fine. We'll be able, if we need to trade into the first round next year, as I say, we'll cross that bridge when we get there, as long as we have second round ammunition to be able to make that even a possibility. All right. So where are we at? We're at 25. Now, what am I going to do at 25? It's our original pick. Should I take somebody? Is there anybody? Let's look. Caden McDonald out of Ohio State. He's somebody that's been on the Bears' radar this entire time. They've been saying, oh, if the Bears choose at 25, they're going to take either Caden McDonald or Peter Woods out of Clemson. Emmanuel McNeill-Warren. He's considered the second safety that the Bears would want to take. Dylan Thieneman out of Oregon is the number one safety, but this guy, Emmanuel McNeill-Warren, out of small school Toledo, is apparently a baller, and we definitely need a young baller safety. So that is tempting. But there's also depth at safety. Kamari Ramsey is out there. There's a lot of good safeties out there this year. So I don't need to pick at 25. Let's go ahead. Let's trade that original pick. That's what we're doing. It's called a crazy Bears draft. We're going nuts. All right, Cincinnati wants to give us 41. All right, that's in the range we want to be picking. And they'll give us another second for next year. That's for a 211 value. I don't love that, but I would consider it. I might consider it. Pick 30. All right, Miami's going to keep me in the first round with an additional first round pick. So that's good. I like that. And a third, I'll replace my third from next year. So now what did I give away from next year? I don't have a first, but I've got like 3 or 4 seconds and a third and a fourth. So I'm fine next year. I'm fine. I don't have to worry about next year. I fixed that. I don't love this trade, though, either. I want something. You know what, Miami? I want you to give me something in the second. How about let's try and counter with Miami. Let's see if Miami can give me 75. Okay. I say that's unlikely. All right. You give me 75. And we can get rid of the third. I know that's not going to do it, so I'm going to have to give something. What if I gave you a next year's fourth? No. I gave you a next year's second. I got a second I can deal. How about a next year's second? All right, that'll get it done. So how about 43? Oh, fuck you. Oh, but you know what? I'm done with this. I don't want to trade with you, Miami. You've upset me now. All right, 41. You know what? I feel like I have to trade with Miami here. Oh, God. All right, Miami, fine. I'll accept. There you go. Another trade with Miami. Now here we are at 30. Let's check in at 30. We are at the very end of the first round. We've got 2 picks. We've got 3 picks left in the first round. The Bears have 2 of them. I mean, we could clean up with a couple of... See, I don't see anybody here that I love. I love Zion Young. Zion Young is somebody that I would take in the second round. If he's there in the second, if we get into the second and Zion is still there, I will take Zion Young out of Missouri. We desperately need edge. All right. We have a trade. We got a trade offer for pick 30. All right, let's see. 30 for 52.84 and a Green Bay second. Oh, do I hate trading with Green Bay? Woo! But I like this. I really like this. I really like this deal. 52.84 and another second for next year. And all I got to do is fucking bite my lip and deal with Green Bay. Let's see what else we got. We got 3 trade offers. This is a 225 value. Here's 244. Much rather trade with Kansas City. They're going to give me another second next year, which is good. What do I got, like 5 seconds next year? This can't be how the draft actually works. I'm telling you, it can't be. Because I don't understand why Ryan Poles, the general manager of the Bears, wouldn't do this. I'm getting lousy with picks, and I'm sitting pretty next year. All right. So they're going to give me a 40 and a 109, which I like, and another second. That's a 244 value. 253 value delivers me a 34 and a 65, and all I got to do is give up, well, all right. All right, let's counter here. Because I got seconds to deal. I might be able to get more out of Arizona if I deal one of them crazy seconds that I have. So let's see. So Arizona is currently proposing for my pick 30 and next year's Miami third, because we acquired that in the trade. So Arizona wants this year's 30, the pick we're at right now, and a third rounder next year that we acquired from Miami. And in return, they're going to give us pick 34, which is the second pick in the second round. Pick 65, which is the first pick in the, what am I doing here? What do I want? What else do I want? All right, what if instead of the third, what if I wanted 104? Okay, we're close. And if I wanted 143 too, okay, you're going to reject that. But what if I give you a second? What if I give you, I got 3 seconds to choose from. If I give you Seattle second, Carolina second, Minnesota second. All right, you're not going to do it. All right, never mind. I may just have to take your deal. Pick 34 and 65. We're accepting. All right, there you go. We're going to accept that deal. Oh, and now we're picking again. All right, well, I need to do some inventory. I need to see what we have. All right, here we go. Picking at 34. Are we in the second round yet? All right, we've got 34, 42, 49, 58, 64, 65, 127. Next year, we've acquired a third rounder. We got a third round pick back. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 second rounders. 4 second rounders and a third next year. Plus, we're sitting in a really nice place. We got, all right, now let's look. Let's go back to the draft. We're sitting here, 34. Do we want to keep trading? Ooh, let's see what our best available athletes are here. So overall, the top guy's a tight end. We don't need a tight end. We are lousy with tight ends. We got too many tight ends. Nice looking quarterback here, rated 20th in the draft. He's fallen to 34. That's pretty good with a cornerback. You like to see a cornerback that starts to fall because they're ranked where they are because of their tape, because of their actual play. Any reason that they're falling could be bullshit. So you like to see that. Ah, boy. All right, let's look at defense. Who's still available in defense? All right. We need an edge. Cassius Howell. A lot of mocks have been sending Cassius Howell to the Bears. But again, this draft, look at these edges, man. Lee Hunter is a beast. Christian Miller is a beast. I want the edge, Jackus, out of Illinois. He is violent. His motor is insane, and he's under the radar. Like, nobody talks about him like they talk about the other edges, yet he's ranked super high. And when people are confronted about him, Gabe Jackus out of Illinois, they're like, oh, that kid's going to be a beast. That his comp is Max Crosby. He's like that kind of player. So that's who I want. Let's see where he is. Gabe Jackus. All right, he's a 49. All right, so I'm picking right now at 34. I got a 49. You know what? I can wait on Gabe Jackus. I might be able to trade this pick. I'm thinking I might trade this pick. All right, let's see what my offers are. All right, let's see. All right, I'm getting a 178 value from Denver. They want to trade my 34. They want to give me 62, 111, and another second next year. Bore me with that. Okay, that's one. 213, that's a little better. Kansas City wants to give me 40 and 74 for 34 and 127 for a 213 value. I like that. I'm going to go ahead and take that. I'm taking it. All right, that's it. And now I'm picking. All right. So now I'm picking with the 40th pick in the draft. Let's see what my picks are. I got a lot. Is it time to go to work? I think it's time to go to work, folks. Let's draft some football players for the Chicago Bears. All right, here we sit at 40. Let's look at overall. Let's see if there's somebody who has slid that is undeniable, that doesn't fit a position of need, but is best player available, and we just can't say no. Okay, let's see here. Now, I got 40, 42, and 49, so I've got 3 picks here in the next 10. I should be able to fill a lot of needs with top players. Look at that. Ty Simpson is still available. You hear people talking about how he's better than Fernando Mendoza. Simpson's only got 15 games though. I mean, you don't know what you're getting with him. All right. So overall, Cassius Howell at 38. We're picking at 40. He slid 2 spots. He's somebody that we like and that has been mocked to us in the past. So maybe we ought to take that seriously. But here's what I'm interested. You know that I'm interested in a game-breaking running back. And if Jadarian Price has fallen to number 40. I'm going to go ahead and take him here. I'm going to anger a whole bunch of Chicago Bear fans. But, dude, I got 42, 49, 58, 64, and 65. Trust me, we're going to do good things with the defensive trenches. We're going to do real good in here. So if there is, let's see the running back list. Damn it, he's gone. Jadarian Price is gone. That hurts me. Let's see. Yeah, he's gone. All right. Jadarian Price is gone. So our dreams of stealing a game-breaking running back from the draft is not going to happen. So now let's look at defense. Oh, wait. What? Wait. He's not gone. How was he there? You guys, when I first hit this, was I not all the way at the top? Jadarian Price is now there. I am picking at 40. They've got him at 58. I have watched him play every snap of his college career. We are drafting this kid. We are drafting Jadarian Price. Look, we already have a trade offer. All right, so first, hate me if you want. This is the kind of pick you could lose your job over for a team that desperately needs edge and trench help on the defensive line, not to mention safety, corner, and we got to replace DJ Moore. I mean, that's not that important, but we can pick up a what. You might be thinking I'm nuts, but trust me on this one. This is a gut feeling. Jadarian Price can play ball, man. Right now, go over to YouTube and just put Jadarian Price highlights. You'll look at him and you'll go, wait, he was the second best running back on this team? How fucking good is Jeremiah Love that this guy was the second? He can run, man. Not only that, but Jadarian Price is our return guy. I'm sorry. I know that we picked up somebody new. Or wait, did we? Did we get rid of Duvernay? Is he still here? I thought we got somebody new. Point is this. We draft Jadarian Price here. He's returning. I think he returned 2 for touchdowns last year. He's incredible. Anyway, all right. We got Jadarian Price. We're now picking at 42. We went with Price at 40. We've got trade offers for 42. New England, with a 187 value, want to give us for 42. They want to give us 63.95 and another second. My God, people just dealing seconds. Is that the only trade offer we got? I want to pick. I'm going to reject that. All right, I'm sorry. Sorry, New England, but I want to pick here at 42 because we need to get into the edge game. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's look at defense. Cassius Howell is still here at 38. We're picking at 42. All right, so he slid from projections. We're going to take Cassius Howell out of Texas A&M. There's our edge guy. All right, now we're picking at 49. 49, New Orleans wants to offer us 73 and another second next year. I'm going to reject that because I want to pick. Look what I got here. I took Cassius Howell at 42, and I got the guy I wanted all alone. That's right. I'm going edge. I told you we were going to fill our trench. I told you we were going to fix our defense. All right, we haven't necessarily gone trenches yet, but all right, here we're looking Dallas Cowboys, my second team, my son's second team. Dallas Cowboys want to trade us. They want to give us another second. How many seconds can a man have next year? They want to give us another second and pick 92. Sorry, Cowboys, I'm going to reject you there because it's time for the Bears to gather up some players. All right, we've got a running back. We took Jadarian Price out of Notre Dame. Then we went with Cassius Howell, an edge out of A&M. Then we went with Gabe Jackas, another edge out of Illinois. Let's go for some middlemen now, right? Let's go for some trenches. Now, what is more important to us? Is it a traditional nose tackle on the trench, or are we looking for more of a 3 technique who can be more versatile on the line and maybe do a couple of things with? Well, let's see what we got. All right, let's see. We're going to go defense here. First, let's peek in on the safeties. Let's see where the safeties are because we're definitely going to need to take a safety. All right, Kamari Ramsey and Genesis Smith. We keep hearing Zakee Weekly being mocked to the Bears. So, so 98, 93, 84, 81, and 72 are all day one starter centers in the NFL. These are all guys who've been graded that they can walk in and they can start, and they're quite good. I have done the most research on Wheatley and Ramsey. I like them the best, but we'll see. All right, that's we got nobody. We'll be overdrafting here because all of these safeties are in the 70s and 80s, and that's good because we got plenty of picks in that round. All right, So we want defensive tackles. All right, Grayson Halton. Grayson Halton, I believe, is a 3 technique. Let's check him out. It says here he is 6'2", 292. So yeah, so he's more of like tackle on guard, tackle on tackle, kind of moving him around. He's a beast out of Oklahoma. Grayson Halton, 6'2", 292. He is the 6th ranked defensive tackle in this draft. That's pretty good. All right, so I like Grayson Halton. I like him as a 3, right? Because see the guy behind him, Dominique Orange? That's Big Citrus. Big Citrus is the nose tackle that I'm drafting. He'll still be there, and I'm going to get him. As a matter of fact, I think right here I'm going to take Grayson Halton first. All right, there we go. All right, now we're already at our pick 64. Pick 64. We got a trade offer for it. Let's see. Oh, geez, 109. We got 64 and 65. We've got the next 2 picks. We can pick up a 109 and another second for next year. And all we've got to do is bank on Kansas City not drafting Dominique Orange. We've got another trade offer. Let's see. Hold on. All right, this is a better one. This is 64 for 68 and a third next year. So this one we're only dropping. All right, guys, I have the next pick anyway, right? I have the next pick. So I'm going to trade 64. I'm going to keep 65, and I'm going to hope against hope that Philadelphia with the 64th pick doesn't take Big Citrus out of Iowa. That's my hope. We're going to accept this. There we go. All right. So now here we are with our next pick at 65. We accepted that. Who did they take? Hold on. Let me see. Who did they end up taking? Max Clare, tight end. All right. Very good. Big Citrus is still there. So here we go. But let's see. Let's see. Big Citrus is ranked at 76, right? I'm picking at 65. I'm overdrafting him, if you want to look at it from that sort of point. I'm overdrafting him. And I also have a pick at 68. Is he still going to be there? I really want him. But how far can I push this to still get him? All right. So Miami wants to give me pick 75 and 151 for pick 65. It's a $75 trade value, or 75. 89 trade value. Here is Indianapolis. They want to give us another third. All I got to do is give up a garbage 7th from next year, and that's okay because I got like 6 seconds. I don't need a 7th. I got like 6 second-round picks next year. I'm going to do this deal. I am accepting it, and I am banking that Dominique Orange is still going to be available for me. All right, where are we? Who did they take? Who did they take at 65? They took a linebacker. Ooh, we need a linebacker. We definitely need a linebacker, but I want Rodriguez. Anthony Hill is going to be gone at linebacker, but I've been spying on Anthony Rodriguez, or is it Robert? Who is it? I don't know. Okay. He's gone anyway. They're gone. All right. All right. All right. So the linebacker, I screwed up on linebacker. I didn't get the linebacker that I wanted. Let me see who got him. Jake Golday out of Cincinnati is another one. Anthony Hill? Anthony Hill went 60? He dropped. Does that mean Rodriguez went first? Who's Jacob Rodriguez? Look at that. He went 46. That is rare. That's who I wanted. I wanted Rodriguez. Man, Anthony Hill is supposed to be the one that was going to go first, but apparently that didn't happen. All right, so let's get back into the draft where we are. My linebacker dreams of stealing a great linebacker who falls, that's not going to happen, but there's a lot of linebackers in this draft, so let's not panic here. All right, at 68. 68, why not stay with the plan? Is Big Citrus still there? He is. 76. My next pick is 74. Ooh, I can trade this pick. Because Big Citrus is really who I want here. Let's look at safeties. Let me see what we got. Did the safety fall? All right, picking at 68. Genesis Smith is 72 and Kamara Ramsey is 81. I think I'm going to go. You know what I think I'm going to do? I've only got 3 picks left. All right, I've only got 3 picks left. So maybe I should trade this one. Let me see. Should I gather up more picks? They're going to give me 70. No, no. I need more picks this year. Sorry. let me counter. Let me see what they have to offer. They got 132 and 136. All right, they can get rid of their 6th. And how about they give me 150? How do you feel about that? Nope, probably not going to do it. Confirm. It's been accepted. They accepted it. I gave them a bullshit trade. It said there was no way this trade was going to go through, and they accepted it. All right, very good. All right, let's see where I am. All right, so I've gone running back. I had to steal him. I'm sorry, I took Jadarian Price. I went running back. I went edge, tackle, and who I really want is Dominique Orange, and he's there, and I am drafting him at number 73. There we go. There we go. All right, now, so I've got my running back, I've got my edge and an edge. I got 2 edge. I went deep with 2 second-round edges. Let's go, boys. A competition. How about that rotation? Fresh legs. Let's go. And then I did the same thing with defensive tackle, except I went 3 technique and nose guard. Grayson Halton, 3 technique. Dominique Orange going to play over the nose. Big citrus, they call him. Just a big landslide of a man that just causes all kinds of ruckus. I love him. Didn't get my safety. I'm picking at 74. Do I want to keep screwing around with safety? I didn't get my safety, and I didn't get my... with 3 picks left, here's what I'd like to get. I'd like to get a safety. I'd like to get a linebacker, and I'd like to get a wide receiver. Let's look at 74. Let's see what kind of wide receivers we got. We don't necessarily need a wide receiver, but another, second or third round talent might be good for the room, because we did just lose DJ Moore. Now, we traded DJ Moore not because he wasn't good anymore or anything like that. We traded DJ Moore because we didn't need him. I mean, we could replace him. Luther Burden's on the rise, and he's a DJ Moore type, so we're okay with letting him go. But that was a money decision. DJ was just the highest paid player on the team, I think. And, we're building for a Super Bowl, and unfortunately, DJ's gone. That doesn't change the fact that we could use a little more talent now, though, because DJ is an immensely talented wide receiver, and we are definitely going to miss his presence. So let's look at the wide receivers that are available here. It's not late. I was going to say this late in the draft. It's not late in the draft. Let's switch over to offense. Let's go to wide receiver. And, okay. All right. Now, I'm a Notre Dame guy, so I'm very familiar with Malachi Fields, and I very much feel like Malachi Fields might be a good pick here at 74. They got a mocked here at 75, so we're going to go ahead and take that. There you go. We're getting our wide receiver. All right, now we're here picking at 78. All right, again, recapping because it's getting crazy. We got a running back that we had to steal. We got 2 edges in a row, 2 high-quality edges in Cassius Howell out of A&M and Gabe Jackas out of Illinois. Then we went with tackles, defensive tackles. We got you a nose tackle at Dominique Orange at 73. And before that at 58, we went 3 technique with the very violent Grayson Halton. Love that. And then we got Malachi Fields. We got to give Ben something. I know this is all a Dennis Allen draft. This is all about what does Dennis need for the defense? But, I know we gave Ben the first overall pick. But that was one for all of us. I promise you. Jadarian Price in a Bears uniform was one for all of us. I know you think that it's crazy right now, but it's not. Still need a safety, baby. 78 is where I'm going to take this safety. And then I know who I'm picking at 150, but at 78, I'm going to take this safety. All right, let's go find us a safety. Please be there, Zaki. Nobody's there. He is there. Zaki is there. Joshua Josephs out of Tennessee. Looks to be the highest rated safety. But we've done our legwork on Zaki, and we like Penn State. We like that Pennsylvania attitude around here. So there we go. All right. Microphone just get hot. Feels like the microphone just got hot. All right. Now what do we got? We got one more pick at 150. Maybe somebody will offer us a trade and we'll stay alive for more picks in this draft. Oh, look at that. That's what happened. We got one offer. We can trade 150 for 164 and 203. The last pick that I'm going to take is a special pick, and he's going to be around. So we need a center. Oh my God, I forgot. We need a center. I mean, we don't desperately need a center this year because we picked up a fairly young center from New England. Next year, we could definitely take a center with one of those 52nd round picks that we've acquired for next year. We'll take a center next year. But let's poke around. Let's see if there are any centers left. Is Slaughter still in there? The centers that I like is I like Sam Hecht out of Iowa. I think I like Jake Slaughter out of Florida. Let's look at centers. Yeah, they're all gone. All right, all the centers that I would have gone for are all gone. Let's see if any guards slipped. Again, we're at 150 now in the draft. Let's see if there are any highly rated guards. No guards have slipped. The first guard up is rated at 155, and we're at 150. So before the guards go, we're about 5 picks. Offensive tackle, anybody slip? 180. Nope. All right, I'm going to take this trade offer. And I'm going to get a couple more picks, 164 and 203. All right, there you go. Why? Because we've already filled the positions of need with copious amounts of talent. We've got 2 killer edges and we've got 2 killer defensive tackles. We've got a terrific prospect and a safety. We've got a game-changing running back and return man in Jadarian Price. We are crushing this crazy draft. Bear down. Look at that, Drew Aller, Penn State quarterback, just went to the Minnesota Vikings. Good for them. All right, here we are. We're picking at 164. Nobody wants to trade with us here. So let's go best available. Best available is Carson Beck. I'm going to pass on that. I don't think we need him. All right, so we're not doing best available. We're how many picks do I have now? Because I acquired a couple more. Let's see. I have a 164 and a 203. All right, I know who I'm taking with 203. 164, should we go some depth? This is where it gets hard, because right now it's like I feel pretty confident that I've filled the positions that I need filled. I know I'm taking a linebacker. I'm taking a linebacker with our last pick. It's going to be an emotional choice, but we're taking the linebacker with the last pick anyway. So we know that that's coming for us here at 203, but at 164. So we've got 2 edges, a running back, 2 defensive tackles, a wide receiver, and a safety. We're going to take a linebacker with 203. Do we go best available? We sure as shit ain't taking Carson Beck, even though he has fallen a bit. Got a running back. We got a guard. Okay, we're picking at 164. This guard has fallen. Bo Stevens out of Iowa. Let's see his size and all that. 6'5", 315. He's from Iowa. One thing I know about Iowa, they know how to build linemen. We are taking a guard. There you go, Ben. I gave you a new young guard to fuck with. We're coming up on our final pick here. Final pick for us is going to be pick 2. Are we here? Are we at pick 202? I think we are. We've arrived at pick 203. 203 with the Chicago Bears. This is way high. All right. We've got 1 pick left, and I'm going to pick a linebacker. It's a position of need. We need a linebacker. Let me see if he's right. There he is. He's ranked at 278. 278. We're going to pick a guy at 270. We're going to take him at 203. He's ranked at 278. I don't give a shit. We're taking linebacker out of Michigan, Jimmy Rolder. I got to tell you a little bit about Jimmy Rolder. I grew up with his dad and uncle. The Rolders are like my neighborhood friends. This is a kid who played at Michigan. He's the son of a guy I grew up with. Jim. Wait, is he Tom? I don't know if he's Tom Rolder's son, and the kid is named Jim after Tom's brother, Jim. Like, there are 2 Rolder brothers that I grew up with. Tom, he was a year older than me, and Jimmy, he was my age. This football player out of Michigan is Jimmy Rolder. I don't know if he is the Jimmy Rolder I grew up with's nephew who's been named after his uncle, or if he's the son. I don't know. I'm not sure. Honestly, I think this Jimmy Rolder out of Michigan is Tom Rolder's kid. And I think he was named after his uncle Jimmy. At any rate, he's also the stepson of some former NFL player. So that's why he's been, matriculated through the highest levels. But he's a Rolder, and we grew up with the Rolders, and I'm rooting for this kid, and he's a Chicago Bear fan. He grew up a Bear fan. The Rolders are crazy Bear fans. He went to Michigan, and now he's in the draft, and the Chicago Bears need a linebacker, and we're going to take Jimmy Rolder out of Michigan. We're going to take them because there's nothing the Chicago Bears like more than homegrown talent. I'm serious. This team is like, I don't know. We'd have to do a real rundown on this year's team when the roster is finally set. But year in and year out, there's always like 5 or 6 dudes who grew up Bears fans on the active roster. I mean, right now we got Sanborn back. There's another one. Jack Sanborn's back. He's a diehard grow up Bear fan. Cole Kmet, diehard grow up Bear fan. Who else? We got some other guys too. We got a few local guys. All right, let's take a look at our draft. Here it is, the final draft. Now remember, we started this thing off getting crazy. We traded with the New York Giants for the number 5 pick, and we gave everything away from next year. Now we sit still not having a first-round pick next year, but that's okay because we're fine. So let's go through what we gave up and what we got back first. Okay, so we started out trading like crazy with the New York Giants. They had the number 5 pick, and we wanted to acquire that number 5 pick, and we didn't want to give away our own first-round pick this year. So how did we do it? We traded everything first, second, and third next year. We said, hey, Giants, if you give us the number 5 pick, we'll give you our first-round pick next year, our second-round pick next year, and our third-round pick next year. And New York looked us straight in the eye and said, you can go kick rocks with that bullshit. We're going to need way more. So we also gave them pick 57, a second-round pick this year, pick 60, a second-round pick this year, pick 89, a third-round pick this year, and pick 129, which is, I don't know. I don't want to do math. Is that a 4th or a 5th? I'm not sure. We gave it all away, but we acquired the 5th pick in the NFL draft, and we still had the 25th. So we went to work and we started trading. We gave away everything from next year, so let's see what we got back. All right? We replaced our second. We still have no first next year, and that's going to hurt. But again, there are things we can do in the meantime. So we got 1 second next year, replaced our second. We didn't replace our – oh, we did. Would you guys look at what we have next year? Next year, we traded everything away at the start of the draft. We had nothing next year. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 second-round picks next year and 1, 2, 3 third-round picks next year. We also have our original 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th for next year. So we do not have a first-round pick. But again, we've got 4 second-round picks and 3 third-round picks. We are fine. Let's just hope it's another deep trench draft next year. Or no, because we're probably not going to need trenches next year. If we do it right this year, I don't know what next. Doesn't matter. I don't worry about next year. We'll probably not even be here. All right, so what did we get? What did we get this year in this year's draft? We got a running back, Kyle Monangai and Jadarian Price. Let's go. Let's go. I love you, Swifty, but you're expendable now. You're expendable. We got Jadarian Price out of Notre Dame. Then we went edge because we need edge. We need help. The Bears need some sacking going on. It's just not working out. It's not. So we went edge twice. We got Cassius Howell out of Texas A&M and Gabe Jacas out of the University of Illinois. Everything on Gabe Jacas is that he's an absolute animal. So, and we might be a little biased because we're getting all this information because we're in Chicago and he plays for Illinois. And Illinois had a pretty exciting season this year, and they're a team. They're in your whole university, everything there. They're on the come up. Do you know that the University of Illinois is the only university in the last, I don't know what it was. They said the last, maybe ever. Let's just say ever. The only university ever, probably not ever, but the only university to have Sweet 16, 2 consecutive Sweet 16 appearances for men's and women's basketball and 2 consecutive bowl game victories in football. They're like the only school that's done that. The University of Illinois athletic program is doing really well, and Gabe Jacas, the edge out of there, we acquired to pair him with Cassius Howell. So Cassius Howell and Gabe Jacas, our edge problem is solved. We still got Montez. We got Austin Booker. Our edge problem is solved. Now let's move to the trenches on the defensive line. We acquired Grayson Halton out of Oklahoma and Dominique Orange out of Iowa State. Oh my God. Woo, baby. This is good. This is our 3 technique and our nose tackle. We're fine. This is big beef. This is big athletic beef. We're happy with this. Then we went to Notre Dame again because I'm in the tank for Notre Dame and I happen to have a familiarity with their skill athletes. And we took Malachi Fields. Malachi Fields going to look great running around in Ben Johnson's offense. Can't wait to see it. We addressed our safety problem. We went Zakee Wheatley we didn't need to overbuy on safeties. A lot of safeties, a lot of good quality NFL day one starting safeties in this draft. We took him at 78. In lesser safety years, he's first round, second round talent. But this happens to be an incredibly deep safety year. Dillon Thieneman and Warren McNeil, Emmanuel Warren McNeil out of Toledo, they're probably the two tops. But, man, there's not a whole lot of drop-off in the safety position this year. There's a lot of good safeties out there. So we went with Zakee Wheatley. We then just went with the best available offensive guard, a guy named Bo Stevens out of Iowa who had slid. I think he slid about 15, so why not? Why not grab him? Got a bunch of picks there. We'll take a quality guard who's on the slide. Then we went with Jimmy Rolder. That's right. We went with Jimmy Rolder, the local kid, because we need a linebacker. We weren't able to get Hill or Rodriguez or certainly weren't going to be able to get any of the Ohio State linebackers, as Sonny Styles and Arvell Reese went 3 and 4 or something in this draft. All right, well, there you have it. Do we get to see all of them? Let's see. Can we see the full draft? Full results. All right, there we go. Let's take a look at how this mock draft played out. Again, we used the Professional Football Network mock draft. Fernando Mendoza, no surprises, went number 1. Rueben Bain went number 2. Kind of a surprise. I mean, Rueben Bain is a top 10, top 15 guy. I haven't seen a mock draft where he doesn't go somewhere in that range, but I haven't seen him go number 2. That's pretty high. And then look at this. This is the 3 and 4, man. The Ohio State linebackers. This is a vibe, these two. And it doesn't matter. I've seen Arvell Reese mocked ahead of Sonny. I've seen Sonny Styles mocked ahead of Arvell Reese. Here we have Sonny Styles mocked ahead of him by 1. That's a couple of linebackers. How did Ohio State lose any games? They got 2 linebackers going in the first 5 picks. How did anybody score on them? Mansour Delane, cornerback out of LSU, rounds out the top 5. We had that pick at number 5, and we traded with I'm staring at New Orleans right there. Spencer Finau, an offensive tackle out of Utah, went to the Browns. David Bailey, the edge, highly rated edge. I've seen mocks where David Bailey goes 2, but in this one, Rueben Bain went 2. Is there any other edge taken? No, I guess those are the two most highly touted edges in this draft, David Bailey and Rueben Bain. But I honestly haven't seen very many drafts where Rueben Bain is taken ahead of David Bailey. But here we are. Caleb Downs, the safety. I didn't mention Caleb Downs. I'm sorry, I forgot about him when I was talking about Dillon Thieneman and Emmanuel McNeil Warren. The reason I didn't mention Caleb Downs is because Caleb Downs is the number 1 safety in the draft, and he is mostly mocked in the top 10. And we picking at 25, I didn't really do much research on him other than what I already know is that he's a baller. So Caleb Downs, first safety off the board. He goes at number 8. I am interested in seeing where Dillon Thieneman went. Dillon Thieneman went number 15 to the Buccaneers. All right, so here's the first safety taken. First safety taken was Caleb Downs at Ohio State to the Vikings. Well, they just lost Harrison Smith, so they got to get younger and they got to replace, and they are used to quality safety play. So they went with Caleb Downs. They're going to be tough. Dillon Thieneman, he went to the Buccaneers. Did any other safeties go in the first? Did McNeil Warren go in the first? Yeah, there we go. Okay, Buffalo. Buffalo got McNeil. Buffalo looks like they traded up from McNeil, Emmanuel McNeil Warren. So those are the 3 best safeties. I don't know. Is it odd? Is it odd for 3 safeties to go in the first round? I mean, that's got to be an indication that this is an insanely deep safety draft. And that's why we got Zakee Wheatley. That's why we got him with a second round, third round pick. Any other surprises here? Dallas Cowboys took TJ Parker, hell of an edge out of Clemson. Not a guy that I've really taken to as a bit. We need an edge. TJ Parker is probably like my 5th dream edge. Who did we get? What my edge? I like the edge that we got. We got Jackus, who I wanted, and then we got the other kid. The kid. Who did we take? Grayson Halton. That was it. Grayson Halton. All right, now let's look at the second round. Then not many surprises here. All right. Round 7. Who's Mr. Irrelevant in this draft? That's always the lad. Mr. Irrelevant is Riley Mahlman, offensive tackle out of Wisconsin. That's wild because I've heard his name. I've heard his name talked about here locally as somebody that the Bears might take. That's obviously because Wisconsin is a regional college and everybody's familiar with Wisconsin. So they're going to talk about they should take that Malman from Wisconsin. Well, here he's Mr. Irrelevant. So, all right, that's going to do it, folks. That concludes our first Chicago Bears absolutely insane, crazy draft. Like, follow, subscribe, and remember that I do a talk show every day at noon where I just chop it up on all the day's events, whether it's hot topics, current events, sports stuff, lifestyle stuff, whatever it is, every day at Radio Misfits. Radio Misfits on YouTube, radiomisfits.com, Radio Misfit, wherever you get your podcast, whatever it is. Check out the Daily Rant with me, Pugs Moran, and I might do another one. I might do another one of these with my son, but as it stands right now, this has been insane, crazy Chicago Bears draft #1. Hope you enjoyed it. I know that I'm going to enjoy Jadarian Price in a Chicago Bears uniform. Be well and bear down.